It's time to go to work. See, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks. With the ball in the air, secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, defense, go defense, defense, gone defense, defense, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas Doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boy shining. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now.
The 2019 Dallas Cowboy season is only a few months from kicking off, but this year, let's do things a little different. Instead of just watching games at home or just going to a game, let's actually experience our Dallas Cowboys, just like West Coast does. Cowboys Experience is my one-stop shop for all my Cowboys game day weekends. Their packages are all inclusive, including 2 nights hotel accommodation. We'll pick you up and drop you off at the airport and game. Want to hang out and get autographs from current and former Cowboy greats like Drew Pearson? If you're ready to experience the Dallas Cowboys like no other, make sure you inbox West Coast or go to cowboysexperience.com today. The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season is
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboy Scout.
appreciate
My
it.
man West Coast in this boat. Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know, it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man. How are you guys doing on this great Tuesday? With Tuesday, this means we are, about 4 days away from actual camp starting, from the Dallas Cowboys getting on an airplane and coming out here to sunny Southern California, man. So what's up to everybody? We got a couple scouts in the building. Got my, I got my Cowboy cousin on the line. What's up with you, man?
Hey, what's going on, West Coast? How are you, sir?
I'm great, man. I'm great, man. Just ready to get on to this Tuesday, get this 4:30 show up in here, so we can get to this Cowboy knowledge, man. That's what I'm trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? But let's say what's up to some folks in the comment box. What's up with you, Marcy? Marcy, did you share today? What's up with you, Christopher? What up with you, Peter? What up with you, Keith? Keith said it's time to clock in. I see you, man. Fonzo, what's up with you, Fonzarelli? I see you. What's up with you, Buddha? What's up with you, man? Nat Thoraniel, what's up with you, man? I know I probably said it wrong again, but you know what I mean. I just love you. How you doing, Scout D? How you doing, Michelle? How you doing, Miss Woods? Benito, how you doing? Dwayne, what's up? Welcome to the Scout Nation. I saw your sign up. I added you to the group. Welcome to the nation, the underground world, man. How you doing today? Art Luna, what's up with you, man? Art Luna, man, what's up with you, man? That man right there, that is actually he's actually the creator of the Hot Boy clothing line. So I mean, that's, we got a lightweight celebrity on the line right now. So what's up to my boy out there, man? I see you, man. Boss Cowboy, I think we got a couple more of your people over there from Boss Cowboy Sports on the line. Why don't you say hello to them real quick?
Yeah, man. I checked, man. I didn't see it cross post, but man, we'll get that right.
Yeah, let me make sure.
But yeah, man. Obviously, everybody on the Boss Cowboy page, we love you, man. Appreciate you, man. And if you can't see it over there, just come over to Dallas Cowboy Scout. We got the same show. So, and then I'm gonna definitely say what's up to you over there. But obviously, we see Art, Brandon, Keith, Major Lawyers, Marcy. I love you. And thank you for adding me to your group. I mean, I love how you gave us all a personal shout out. That was so sweet. You hardly ever see that in groups. When you get new members, they just be like, okay, whatever. Now, Marcy says hi to everybody. You know what I mean? So, she's super first class. Then, obviously, my boy Buddha clocked in. And Buddha, man, I think Buddha kind of low-key comedian. Wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Buddha was going hard earlier today, man, so I appreciate it.
He always got some of those. He got the best zingers, brother. I mean, and he just fresh off the dome. And then Kerry, man, I call him the Tyrion from Game of Thrones because he's the researcher. He always researching and he's shooting stuff to me just to keep me fresh, and he keep all of us fresh, really, because whatever he shared, especially when I can understand it, I'm going to put it out there because the stuff is real factual. I would definitely say he's one of the better researchers pretty much out of all people that I've ever met. So appreciate you, Kerry, out of H-Town. Much love to you, man.
Hey, man. Hey, Kerry's my scout. He always wears hats like this. Look.
Yeah, that's H-Town, man.
That's how you do it.
But that's how they do it, man. Houston, they always have their own Southern, I would say, swag for sure. They have some things that's earmarked to Houston that nobody's going to do it like Houston. I lived in Houston for about 17 years, so I'm very familiar with everything about Houston. You got to have much love for Houston. Yeah, they do. They rock their hands diagonal like you just did, brother. That is so true.
Hey, well, hey, man, I want to give a special shout out to some folks that are over on YouTube. Remember, you guys, YouTube is the preferred platform. If you're able to watch on YouTube, we would highly prefer that. All the giveaways and anything that we give away is going to be YouTube based. I have a guy that won a book. I have the book right here. I'm just gonna wait for him to show up in the comments, and I'll let him know that we have a winner. Dang, I got a Nike shirt, not a Cowboy shirt. I'm kind of mad at myself. But yo, we got Steven over here from Grand Prairie, Texas. We got Richard Evans over here we got Richard Everson. He says, "Good evening, Cowboy Nation, West Coast and Boss Cowboy." We got Rob Jarwin. What's up with you? We got Big Sam. What's up with you? Also, we got a super chat from West Coast Cowboy. What's up, man? Appreciate you for the $2, man. I just gave myself $2. That's what's up. I'm gonna shoot you your dollar, boss. Don't trip. I got you.
I appreciate that.
It's all love, baby. What's up with you, Sam? So, yo, if you guys want to drop a super chat in there, you know what I mean, it only does only thing the super chat does on YouTube is go to support the nation. It's Dallas Cowboy Scouting, but Boss Cowboy's on here too. So whatever that goes in there is gonna be split between me and my guy. So we appreciate you guys for everybody that's tuning in on the YouTube too. So make sure if you guys can possibly please go watch on YouTube so you have a chance to win also. All right, so yo, let's get right into this show, man. I think we did it enough. I know we got a lot of Bills over here to play. We got a lot of people that support us. We got Cowboys experience that support us. We got Gridiron Hard, the official All-Star game for the youth. We got them who over there be supporting us. There's so many people that support Dallas Cowboy Scouting, man. We got the Scouts, man. Shout out to the Scouts and Scout Nation. We got the Scouts that support us, man. So many people that have trusted their scout knowledge with Dallas Cowboy Scouting and Boss Cowboy Sports, and we just want to tell you that we greatly appreciate you. Greatly appreciate you. Now, let's jump right into this show. And the first thing we want to kind of talk about is we had an update on Allen Hurns today, and what we saw is that Allen Hurns was released by the Dallas Cowboys. Now, when he was released this morning by the Dallas Cowboys, you know, me and Boss Cowboy, I think we do a really good job of trying to make relationships with as many people, as many players as we possibly can. And Allen Hurns was one of those relationships that we made with. And I just remember speaking with his mother and kind of, you know, we didn't go into detail as far as his contract and stuff like that because, you know, obviously she's not going to talk about anything like that. But, you know, she kind of assured me of some things that the Dallas Cowboys had some promises that the Dallas Cowboys had kind of relayed to her son. And so I'm gonna just be honest with you, Boss Cowboy. When I heard that he was being released, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked, regardless of what the price was. I was kind of shocked because of the conversation I had. Now, and that conversation was more along the lines of, you know, the Dallas Cowboys were happy with where Allen was, and that they were gonna go into the season kind of understanding where he was, you know. And now you see that he's being released. Now, I totally understand. I get it. Hey, I get it. It's a business. I get that you know that you got to make business moves sometimes. But guess what, guys? What I don't like is when players ask for money and then we call them whiny babies. We call them greedy, selfish. We call them everything except for a child of God. Why? Because they're just asking for the stuff that they're asking for. But then when you have a player like Allen Hurns, someone who may not be liked by every Cowboy fan, but there are a few that ride for him, we want to say it's business. But I'm going to tell you guys, something came out. Boss Cowboy, we do our research here at Dallas Cowboy Scouting. And we did our research, man. And Jane Slater, good old Jane Slater. I'm going to tell you, I don't even really drink like that. But if Jane Slater drinks, I'm buying her a drink, boss. I'm buying her a drink.
Yeah, man. Don't buy her nothing. That's my friend.
Oh, that's your friend? We going to fight. Boss Cowboy told me it's the only person. Hey, that's how you know you some real live bloggers. When you say the only person, I asked Boss Cowboy, who the only person you think that you would get nervous around? And the first person that came out of his mouth was Jane Slater.
That's the only person. I swear that'd probably be the only person that I ever be like.
Hey, she getting an award. If I see her at training camp, I'm giving her a merit award, man. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: whatever it is that Jane Slater is doing with these Cowboys, man, and that is relationship building, they trust her because every single Cowboy that leaves the Dallas Cowboys is using Jane Slater as their avenue to voice what the hell is going on and what's not going on. Now,
don't say that too fast, man. That you rush past that a little bit. That's a very big deal. What you just said. I want to kind of just. Yeah, I want to kind of slow that down. What you said.
Slow that down. I might just diss you. Okay.
See, because it's important what West Coast just said, because that's also one of the best sources of information. So it's like sometimes some people don't care about truth. I know we always say we're serious Cowboy fans out to uncover truth. We always say that. But some people don't care. But when you care about the truth, you also have to consider the source, right? And that's the main reason why I would be nervous around Jane Slater, because she is somebody that has major integrity. Even when the front office say something, like for instance, Dez is a cancer, she'll say the complete opposite after talking to the locker room, which puts her relationship with the front office at risk.
Yep.
And she does it. So that tells you a lot about her. You know, that she's the type of person that values integrity, that she's one of the last journalists that's still alive, that's not trying to do clickbait. She's more so still old school to where she wants the truth out there. And Marcy raised a good point. She said it was bad that it happened, but we have to look forward, and I agree with that. But some things help you look forward better when you can look back, you know? So like, for example, the reason why we spending so much time on this is because when you see deals that's potentially done wrong, that gears up the next round of people that might want to get their money, that's teaching them how to do business back to Dallas. So some things we don't want to sweep under the rug and just say, okay, they did bad, let's move on. No, what we want to do is analyze it, break it down, and then go forward by explaining what could these decisions today mean for us going forward. So like for instance, I'm going to give a perfect example. I didn't like the way that Dez was done in the fact that they waited to the last minute to cut him, right? And it was right before they was going into OTAs. And I said this, and I took a lot of flack for this, West Coast. I said, this is teaching Zeke, Dak, Tank, and everybody that's up and coming how to do business with Dallas, because this will set a precedent to not trust the front office. And Stephen Jones' pitch to Dak was this: he must take a team-friendly deal, because if we can give them one of those rings, everybody knows in Dallas that your career and your money is basically longer when you're able to get a ring in Dallas.
Hey, boss,
So
boss, real quick, not to interrupt you, but we just had something really amazing happen right now, man. My boy Skeptical Cowboy fan just gave us our real, honest super chat. He just gave your boy $2, man. Shout out for saluting the nation, man. Appreciate you, man. We appreciate that dollar, man. Go
man, you cut me off for no $2. No, I'm playing.
Shoot, man, that ain't no little $2. That's $2. I appreciate you, Skeptical
No, no, we always appreciate that. I'm just playing with you, and I appreciate you, man. And that, I mean, we just speaking truth, and if you love the truth, definitely donate. But that precedent that was set with Dez Bryant is, to me, why you would see people like Tank use his shoulder, right, as leverage, because they say this is how you have to do business with them, because they're going to do business back to you the same way. When you can, you get what you can. So that's why I want to slow down a little bit on Jane Slater, and why Jane Slater as the source is exponentially important.
Absolutely. And the statement that she said, and Skeptical fan, we appreciate you, Big Doubt. The statement that she put out was, she said, I just spoke with Cowboys wide receiver Allen Hurns on today's release. He's understandably disappointed, saying, I'm good, just wish they would have did this earlier. They asked me for a pay cut Monday, couple days before camp. Like, this is like, and to be honest with you, it's like, it kind of like has to ask yourself, like, are you okay with being not necessarily being associated with it, because this is our team. Like, we're not gonna not change our team over how they do business. I mean, you really can't. Like, I've loved the Cowboys like longer than that. So yeah, I'm too invested. But at the same time, it helps you understand what the heck is really going on, man. And also, for all y'all folks that was discrediting Dez Bryant and putting him through these fires and disrespecting him and calling him names, like, come on, man. Think about this. The very person that you guys laughed at and said, oh, he's going to be Dez Bryant's replacement, they did him the exact same way. They did him the exact same way. And I'm going to tell you what the Cowboys did. It's the exact same thing I told you guys on this morning show. I said the Cowboys waited until Monday and they came to Allen Hurns with a price that was so ridiculous that he either had to take it and be mad or say, you know what, I'm gonna move on. That's why you wait till Monday. Why? Because you know half the NFL has already started their training camps. Like, imagine if Allen Hurns was your child. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta at some point say it's business. I get it. But at some point, you gotta kind of look at these folks as humans. Because, I'm sorry, guys, accidentally, when you hang around these players, when you go to their charity events, when you talk to their parents, you start seeing them as humans. It just sucks, man.
No, it don't suck to know. It don't suck at all to see them as humans. At all. And I want to say a couple of things to echo some of the points you just made, but just in a slightly different way. Roy Williams talked about this yesterday, and I don't think a lot of people caught it. He said, I was involved with the full campaign of getting that stadium in Arlington. He said, I walked door to door. I kissed babies. I did a lot of work to get the stadium in Arlington that we all enjoy today.
That hurt my feelings when he said that.
Yeah, see, I think it went past a lot of people, man.
Especially when he said the door to door. He said they went door to door.
Door to door. He went door to door. He didn't say, oh, no, I'm busy. I just got through training, Jerry. I'm not going to do that. I feel you, bet. I got to keep football. No, what he said was, oh, you want the stadium in Arlington? And on my free time, you want me to go door to door to lobby for this? I will. This was my childhood dream, and I want to do it for us. And they cut him like they cut Dez at the last minute and left him small options. What I think people are missing, West Coast, is the timing. See, they think we just talking about hers being cut. Listen to what James said. Read it closely. Now, West Coast said it 2 times. I want to say it again. James Slater said, understandably. I'm going to say it again. Understandably disappointed. Now, understand who James Slater is. She's not a rookie in the game.
No.
She's been an NFL insider for years. Meaning she knows when business is done.
She didn't broke either. This is not the biggest story she didn't broke.
Oh, no. And this is the big deal I want to say about James Slater. She knows when business is done usual and unusual. So when she says understandably disappointed, she put herself into it.
Yeah.
Because, see, I met James Slater's friend when I was at Cowboy Experience. She also saw firsthand the impact that Allen Hurns made on a little boy. And so she saw it firsthand. And West Coast, there's nothing wrong with you, me, or Jane looking at him as a human and saying this is not the appropriate way to do it, and we should not co-sign this as fans. We should not be like, because it's the Cowboys, we just get over it. No, I'm not going to lose my heart over me being a fan of this team. I'm still, because I like the man that he is, and the man that he is deserves to have his chance to shop. Not run out the clock on him, leave him few options. They didn't even do Brandon Carr like that. Think about it. When they let Brandon Carr go out into the open market, they let him do it at the beginning of free agency. And he came back humbled and took a lesser deal because it was a win-win way of doing it. They didn't put him in a lose and we win situation. What they doing currently, they're saying we're going to put you in a lose situation so that we can win. They did it to Dez, they did it to Romo, and now they just did it to Allen Hurns.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like you say, what are the ramifications of this? Ramifications is when you go to other free agents. When you get other free agents, and when you see that other free agents will take a deal or other free agents will take less money to go other places, they won't do that with Dallas. And when you come to Dallas, you had better get all you want. Like, it's stuff like this that makes a guy like Ezekiel Elliott says, man, F that. I'm for sure getting my money.
I'm holding out.
I'm for sure holding my money. Why?
Yeah.
Because if they'll do them like that, it'll do me like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's jump to these comments box real quick before we push on to our next subject. Leah saying, what's up, Scout? Buddha, what's up with you, man? Hey, remember, if you're watching on Facebook, allow Facebook to be your first avenue of watching. But remember, y'all, we got to switch to that West Coast Cowboy on YouTube. Make sure you go to West Coast Cowboy on YouTube. Joe says, Jerry is a ruthless businessman. Tony says, way late. My bad, y'all. It's all good, Tony P. Matthew says, Dez situation should be a lesson that if you get a big contract, you better perform up to it. I'd be asking less for job security. I'm going to be honest with you, Matthew. I'm going to have to ask you to slap yourself. You are never in your life going to go and say, you know what? And the job is offering $15 an hour. How about you just give me 10 so that I can know for sure I'm going to keep the job? You know what they're going to tell you? They're not going to hire you. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to hire you. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to hire you. Like, I'm sorry, that's not a winner's mind. That's not a winner's man's mindset. You know what I'm saying? A winner's, no one has ever taken a job thinking they're going to get fired. You know what I'm saying? Nobody takes a job. Nobody interviews for a company not thinking they have an opportunity to get the job. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're not, what are you doing? You're wasting your own time. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, and I know we real rough on the edges over here. So welcome to Dallas Cowboys Scouting. But Dez did perform. Like, he did perform, but he also broke his foot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can perform all you want, but, you know, Dez broke his foot. The same year he held out, the same year he tried to come back, he broke his foot. And then guess what? Dez was the first NFL player I've ever seen in my life to come back 4 weeks after breaking your foot. You know, the thing that you push off on? Yeah. Like, to be honest with you, if Dez doesn't get that contract extension, I don't think he comes back in 2015. Like, and if he does, I don't think he comes back to because he would have had to be back by week 8, and he wasn't ready week 8. Like, Dez's foot was broken. You know what I'm saying? But guess what, Jerry Jones? The same thing Jerry Jones told D-Law. You know, the most important thing on a deal is that first year. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? He broke that foot his first year, and Dez was never the same. He shouldn't have played.
Dez was still good. Let's also be clear on that, because even the year that they called him a slump, he made the Pro Bowl.
Exactly.
And
809 yards.
Games, and was still close to 1,000 yards, right?
More touchdowns than Julio.
Yeah, and he's still, to this day, the franchise leading touchdowns. So, like, when you compare Dez to top-tier Dez, no, he wasn't Dez. But if you compare Dez to other players around the league, he was still better than 95% of the players on other teams. And the big thing I would say to you, Matthew, is that they didn't even offer him, when they cut him, a lower deal. They just cut him, you know. And they cut him, and they said things about him that James Slater actually pushed back against. So when they were saying diva and bad for the locker room, James Slater was saying it was zero infighting in the locker room. That's one of the reasons I respect her, because she pushes back when other people, out of fear of their jobs and their journalistic jobs, sit there and just let them pander and say things that's against the players that's not true. Because sometimes they do that because they worried about the fans, right? You want to just cut Dez and not shout the reasons for cutting Dez. They wanted to cut Dez and say, well, these was the reasons why we cut him, and it makes it, because we're going to really do a receiver by committee, and we think it's going to make Dak better. Like, and most of us actually bought that. I never bought that. I said, this doesn't make sense for me that a bunch of number 2s and number 3s are going to make up for a number 1. Even though he's not the same number 1 that he ever was, because of the ankle injury, he still was better than all the other receivers on our team. And you have to just ask yourself, would you take him over, at that time, Terrence Williams? Yes. Would you take him over Bryce Butler? Yes. Would you take him over Cole Beasley? Yes. Would you have taken him over Hearns? Yes. So why not offer him a pay cut? Did they do that? No, they didn't. They just cut him. And then you find out later through James Slater again that the players felt like Linehan, if he didn't like you, he gave you less reps.
Yeah.
So then you sit up there and you wonder why Dez would be upset and Cooper would be upset, and then you'll see them actually upset because they getting checked out of the game. You're looking at Witten getting 97 and 98% of snaps. People like Cooper and Dez getting 80%. You're like, man, what's going on? How do you not get mad when you're a baller? So, and we're not picking on you, man. We just want to just come, like when you come to the scouts, we go just talk blunt and we go just really say it according to the real information that's out there from especially trusted journalists like James Slater. And she said it, the big thing that she said is understandably disappointed. We all got to digest that. I don't want to just move on from that because now, let me ask you a question. You raised a good point, West Coast, that it makes it harder for us to get free agents, but it also makes it harder for people like Dak and Zeke to trust us. While you trying to do a deal with Dak and you just see what happened to Hearns, if you was kind of starting to tell your agent, hey, man, let's just go and get the deal done, what that's going to make you do, West Coast?
That's going to make you more optimistic, shoot.
It's going to make you say, you know what, do whatever you got to do to get me paid. You know what I mean? Because sometimes those agents are pushed back so hard at trying to get you paid that it'll make the player uncomfortable. Like Tank admitted, I was uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
But when you see stuff like this, you say, no, go ahead and give me every red cent because I don't even know if I'm going to be here. Because I see what happens here.
My boy Rob Jarman over on YouTube, he says, do you think the scare of Zeke holding out and getting him a contract soon is why Hearns got cut now, or to sign Dak with that money? Robert, I appreciate your comment. And also, remember, if you're watching on Facebook, it's time to make that graduation and go over to YouTube, man. I appreciate everybody that's done that. Go over to YouTube. It's just West Coast Cowboy. You just go to YouTube, type in West Coast Cowboy, you'll see us live. To answer your question real quick, Rob Jarman, and you always ask some great questions. It says, do you think the scare of Zeke holding out, getting a contract soon is why Hearns got cut? No.
No.
The reason being is because they signed Hearns on a 2-year deal, right? And think about this. They were not expecting to trade for Amari Cooper. They were thinking Hearns would be the guy. You know what I'm saying? So the money that was budgeted for Hearns was already budgeted. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then think of this. Hearns getting cut today or even being on this team tomorrow will not change the fact that Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott are both still on 1-year deals. That does not change. So, they were going to make this work regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because that's more important. I mean, you could easily and think about this. Amari Cooper's money is accounting for $13.9 million on your books. It says we have $24 million right now, but when Hearns resigns, that could go up to damn near like $34-35 million. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get a relief. You're gonna get a relief because there's $13.9 million that's getting counted against us, and we all know, unless Jerry Jones has just developed into the dumbest businessman in the face of the earth, there's no way in hell Amari Cooper's gonna play on a 1-year deal worth $13.5 million. You're not gonna do that. Why? Because if he gets hurt, you're screwed and he's screwed. You want to know why? Because where's my first round pick at, bruh? You will have just traded Amari Cooper for 10 games. You get what I'm saying? Because guess what? If he gets hurt, he's still a restricted free agent at the end of this season. So he could theoretically just think it right. I'm not saying he would do this, but do you know that he could theoretically play enough games, theoretically get hurt and not play the rest of the season and still get paid and still be an unrestricted free agent? Now, nobody would do that. I would hope not. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is there's too much to lose with Amari Cooper playing on a 1-year deal. Too much. You're going to lose the first round pick. You're going to lose the $13.5 million because you're still going to pay him for it. You still got to pay him because it's guaranteed. And then think about this. You still then have to go into the market and buy him back. Why? Because he will be an unrestricted free agent if you don't sign him. And ask you a question. If you think Amari Cooper is a bad man, imagine how the NFL will – because I'm going to just be real with y'all, right? And Boss Cowboy, don't you start statting me down to death either when I say this, right?
Man, you better say the right thing.
You already know I'm about to say something. I'm just being real.
Shoot, man.
But the NFL does not view Dak the way we view Dak, okay? So if a wide receiver is able to ball out with Dak Prescott and then hit the market, I think he would get paid. You want to know why? because then they would use he could use the well, bro. He was with Dak Prescott. He doesn't even really throw the ball a lot. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. He's a dink and I'm just saying. That's why I geared Boss Cowboy up before I said that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying like this. If you allow Amari Cooper, because just think, if he plays 18 games with the Dallas Cowboys, 16 games with the Dallas Cowboys, because he played 8 in the regular season, has 704 yards. So if you just do the regular trending mathematics over 16 games, that's 1,400 freaking yards, bruh. So you're gonna tell me Amari Cooper is available, a free agent with 1,400 yards? He's the number one free agency right now. Every team in America is gonna want him. And you already know we don't do good with trying to get high-priced players. Let's just be real. I wonder how high they would have went for Tank if somebody else would have wanted Tank. That's all I'm saying. You know, so you're gonna resign. I say all to say this: you're gonna resign Amari Cooper.
No doubt.
Dak Prescott. I'm gonna be honest with you. Your agent, I'm talking to your agent right now. I'm not even talking to you. Your agent is a liar. He's a thief, and you should not trust him. If he convinces you to play on a $700,000 contract, I'm telling you right now, your liar is I called him a liar. Your agent is one of those three. Or hold on. There's a fourth one. He could be a Jones. But if your agent allows you to play on a 1-year deal for $700,000, liar, thief, con man, or he's a Jonesman. He's a Jones. One of them. Because that is foolish. So it's like, you know, the Dallas Cowboys are getting their way right now, bro. Like, the player that should be holding out is Dak. But he's not.
Yep, he better hold out.
Like, I don't see how the Cowboys they're winning. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, man, pay all three of my boys. Pay all three. And now, I'm going to keep it real with Hearns. Hearns just makes it so there's really no excuse. Like, if there's really no excuse for Zeke to hold out, because now we have money on top of money, because we had the money to do Zeke. So now if I'm Zeke, I'm really holding out now.
Oh yeah, if I'm Zeke, I'm definitely
really holding out.
Yeah, I would definitely strongly consider it. I would take them all the way up to the brink. Brada said something that was, but I want to kind of address that too. First of all, I'm proud to be a scout. I'm very proud to be a scout, because the question you asked was, what does basically Hearns cut signal in terms of the players that's in the wings waiting to be enumerated? What does it mean for those players like Cooper, like Dak, potentially Zeke?
Get ready for a fight.
To me, it means that one of those guys are getting ready to get their money. I'm betting right now is Dak.
It should be Cooper, though. It should be Cooper.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because accounting wise, it makes sense to be Cooper.
Yeah, because
you're going to free up cap space by signing Cooper. But the reason why I'm saying is Dak, because I believe, just from reading the tea leaves, that Cooper is waiting on other receivers to get theirs.
Absolutely.
He's already pretty much a millionaire from being a first rounder. The person that's been playing for peanuts is Dak. And looking historically, and this is the reason why I said I'm proud to be a scout, because we have our own group, okay? We have our own instant messenger group. As soon as Hearns was cut, the scouts began to say this: oh, somebody getting ready to get signed. Somebody getting ready to get signed. Because the reason why, because the scouts and the people that are scouts with us, and you can become a scout by obviously supporting the Patreon, they know the patterns. And the patterns of Dallas is this: whenever they restructure somebody, they pay somebody. Whenever they cut somebody, they pay somebody. West Coast said it on the earlier show. They don't like to pay players just from the free cash. No. They like to make cash to pay players.
Exactly.
That's a clear pattern. It's clear.
That's actually a business. That's actually a business stamp. Like, that's how rich people stay rich. But they only spend their profit. You know what I'm saying? If they don't make no profit, no matter if they got millions of dollars in their account, they can't spend it.
Yeah. So that's a pattern that when you heavily involved with watching the Cowboys, like a lot of the scouts are, that's a part of the show. It's a lot of scouts that's on right now. You kind of know our patterns. You kind of know our history. That's the reason why I called last year, and I said this last year. I said I think Dez is going to be cut. I said it about a month before it happened. I said the major reason why I knew it was going to happen is because of the same pattern. Whenever they was trying to free up money, they freed it up by talking to the players and preparing them for restructures or getting them to come down. They do it all the time. And they kept saying, we haven't gotten around to talking to Dez. We haven't gotten around to it. And they kept saying that. And I say, no, that's not how they
Yeah.
do business. Whenever they in off season, they always trying to move around money to prepare for new potential acquisitions. Anybody that watches Dallas knows that. And so when I saw them just getting late and still saying, hey, we on vacation, we haven't gotten around to talking to Dez, I said they messed around and cut Dez because remember that was the time they was looking at getting
And
Earl.
you gotta think like this, boss Cowboy. When like if I'm just if do I have to have a meeting to tell me? Because do I have to have a meeting to tell me to go back to work? No, you just go back to work.
Right.
Like Dez was under contract, so like they didn't have to set a date. Like they could have just let Dez go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not, you know what I mean? Like they didn't have to be like, there's a meeting on the first. Why? Because Dez was already under contract. He could have just went back to work. The reason there was a meeting is because we had something to meet about. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
also, when Dez showed up with just his security guard, bro, you needed an agent or an attorney to talk about a contract.
Yeah. You should have known going in the door there.
Like when it's just Dez and his security guard, bro,
Yeah.
you know then he's getting cut because you need
Yeah.
attorney or you need an attorney or an agent to negotiate a contract. But also think about this, boss Cowboy. Something else that we kept saying too about Dez, about not Dez, about Dak Prescott and how Jerry Jones views these guys. He views them as kids, man, and that's why we kept saying that's why I kept saying that I felt that Dak Prescott's gonna get signed the week of training camp. He's gonna get signed like 15 minutes before he gets on the plane. He's gonna get a contract. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And he ain't gonna
And
get
they're
what I
making
said.
room for it with this Hearns.
Yeah, and guess what? He's not gonna be able to spend any of that money until next season.
Yep.
Why?
They
Because
want
he's
him
in training
busy.
camp.
Yeah, they want him busy. And you call that. See, West Coast, I like how you like to share that with me. But you call that. You said that like 5 months ago. And I remember the day you said it. You said they're gonna sign him the week of training camp, and you was talking about Dak, not Cooper. You didn't say anybody but Dak. I credit you for that because I think you finna be dead on Notre Dame's right. Like, bang, hit it on the money. And that makes me even prouder to be a scout. I do want to say something and bring it to you, West Coast.
Shoot out.
Gregory said, and obviously want to respect my Georgian brother. He said, West Coast and Boss Cowboy, do you think that the 2019 Cowboys can win without Zeke if he holds out better than the 2017 Cowboys when Zeke was suspended 6 games?
This is what I'm gonna say on 2019, right? Something kind of some. I mean, I'm looking at 2000. It's not about Zeke. Like, let's just not even say Zeke because I think when people say Zeke, they get in their feelings. If you really like him, then you're like, of course. If you really, really like Zeke, you're like, absolutely not. We can't survive, right? If you hate Zeke, you're like, hell yeah, we can survive. Tony P. You know what I'm saying? But this is the question you guys really need to ask: is this? How do you replace 2,000 yards of your offense? A guy who's responsible for 34% of your offensive production, and who was responsible for 9 touchdowns in your offense. You know what I'm saying? If the Dallas Cowboys are able to replace that by committee, then yeah, I believe we can. I believe we can. Yes, absolutely. But I think that there's gonna have to be. You can't. I'm sorry. 34% of your offense can't be made up by committee. That's too large. Like if you told me that, all right, West Coast, your rent is $1,000. I'm gonna give you 700, and you got it. I'm gonna give you 700, and you just gotta figure out 3. That's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like $300 just come up out your butt for out of nowhere. That's a lot. That's a lot of money if you ain't got no assets or nothing to come up with. So I mean, 34% of your offense. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see how you can just committee that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the weapons that we got are all like think about this. I mean, if Amari Cooper gets 14, even if Amari Cooper does get the 1,400 yards, which I think he's able to get, I don't think he will, though. I think he's still going to be about 12, 11. But, like, we are not a type of offense that just overly feeds anybody except for Zeke. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just and I don't want Dak to be out there trying to overly force Amari Cooper too, because that's not Dak and that's not him. You know what I'm saying? So we're a running team. Like we are a running team. So it's like, and the only way I would be able to really answer that question is if say we could do it, but our scheme would have to change. Like we would have to go to a passing first team. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have to be it, because we're gonna see 8 man in the box. If you have 8 man in the box, that means what? That means you have single. That means you have single coverage on the outsides. That means you should be doing what? Throwing the damn ball. You know what I'm saying? But you also got to say it like this: if you don't have no Zeke, you don't have 8 man in the box. Why? Because there's no need for it. That means Cooper's now double coverage. That means those easy one-on-ones aren't really there. You guys kind of see how they all work together. Like, why can't they all just get signed on the same day? Like, I don't want to pick Kyron over TJ. Like, Kyron is my baby. TJ is my older son. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to pick either one. So I'm not, when I ask that question, it makes me feel like I got to pick. I can't do it. Boss, what's your thoughts, man? I don't see it. I don't think we can replace 2,000 yards in 6 days. No.
Yeah, I think we win games. I just don't think we dominate.
Yeah,
I
we can win games, but
yeah,
do
I
we
think
get in the
that was
playoffs?
the question is do you think we go win games? I don't think Zeke himself is going to cause us to go into the tank. I think losing Dak will cause us to go into a tank, because especially when you look at the backups to Dak, but when you look at the backups to Zeke, I think if you're creative, you can actually do some things with Pollard and do some things with Weber. Are they going to be Zeke? Absolutely not. But like to West Coast's biggest point is that we're a running team. So that you're going to ask some true green rookies that was, mid to late rounders, even with mid grades, to do what Zeke was doing. Now, Zeke, what he was doing was as somebody who had a top 5 grade.
Yeah.
So when he was asked to basically come in and be Murray Part 2 instantly, that wasn't as big of an ask as the ask of taking Pollard, who was undersized but very electric, and Weber, who I would call Zeke light. They have the exact same running style, but he's a lighter version of Zeke.
Hey, boss, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Can you agree with me and say that Zeke was as good as DeMarco Murray when he came into the league?
Absolutely, yes.
Boom. See, now that's there you go. There's no drop off.
There's no drop off.
When you know what I'm saying, there's gonna, because let's just be real. Tony Pollard and Mike Weber are noticeably smaller than Zeke. Like, that's something else I think that people don't really like realize, that like Tony Pollard, as much as he gets like talked about as an Alvin Kamara, he's 15 pounds lighter than Alvin Kamara. You know what I'm saying? So there's gonna be some like, he still has to go through the normal rigor of being in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw Bo Scarborough, an Alabama back, could not move a third string line against the 49ers, and resulted in him getting cut from the Dallas Cowboys. So I just can't be like, Weber is gonna be able to. I love Weber. I think he's a good kid. But bro, he looked like Zeke until you stand them beside each other. Like, he's about 22 pounds, 20. I think they said 21 pounds lighter than Zeke. Zeke is a freak.
Yeah, and that's a real big ask.
And last thing I'm gonna say, boss, remember this: you're also replacing your number 1 receptions leader, because nobody on the Dallas Cowboys, including Cole Beasley, caught more passes than Zeke. Then think about this: if Cooper B's your number 1, which he should, okay, then you're replacing your number 2 receiver, who is your running back. Like, Zeke is just too much intertwined. Like, have you ever seen those, like, Boss Cowboy, have you ever seen those sands? It's like the Bible says, like, can you mix 2 different color sands and like mix them up and pour it out? No, you can't. Zeke is so intertwined into everything we're doing that, honestly, think about the finances. You don't think, what's the number 2 jersey selling in the NFL right now? Ezekiel Elliott. Like, the same reason why Dak will get enumerated. Why? Because Jerry makes so much money off them.
Yep.
Like the money that he's gonna make on Zeke, he's gonna make that back. He's gonna make that triple back off jersey sales alone.
Yeah, he already making 100 times off that.
Like Zeke is worth way more than just the money that they're saying on the field.
Yeah, and one thing that I think we also have to factor in with that question is, can we win without Zeke? I talked to Swam, okay? Swam said this very honestly, because I said, man, you was in stride before you got injured last year. I said, but when you was running with Dak in the preseason, you was dropping balls. I said he would have been 100% if it wasn't for your 2 drops his first preseason game. He said, man, I had to get my confidence up. Just like that. He said, once you kind of get going, then you realize I belong out here. He said, but man, nerves hit us, brother.
Hey, but say what he said about Jason Witten, though, because I thought that's what you were going to say.
But this point has to do with Pollard and Weber and even Zeke, because don't forget, Zeke's rookie year, he started slow. Don't forget that.
Games.
His first 3 games was
he got benched and nobody wants to talk about it. But you know, Zeke got benched game 2.
Yeah, against the Redskins for fumbling. When those lights come on you, those guys got to work out those nerves, and it's a real thing. Like, and so that's why, to a degree, we take for granted Dak, because Dak had to go into them lights with Romo behind him and play like it was no pressure. So when you see the mentality of a Dak and you see the mentality of a Zeke, to where they get going fast, that is rare. That is not the norm. So I don't want us to think we gonna come out there with Pollard and Weber and be like, okay, y'all be 3-year vets and grown men now. That's an unrealistic expectation, just like it's an unrealistic expectation to expect Dak to carry a team in year 3. To even say that when we were saying that West Coast was crazy. I wouldn't even expect any quarterback to carry a team to 6 years in the league.
The only quarterback that I expect to carry a team is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Because he's the only person to show me that he can do it.
Right. And Aaron.
Not even Aaron. Bro, when was the last time Aaron Rodgers was in the playoffs?
Well, now I would say Aaron can. Now, I ain't say did. Or did he do it? Oh, I'm saying can, because I saw him do it in 2016. Aaron pretty much in 2016 was the main reason they made that 7-game run to get in the playoffs. And they beat a hot Dallas. And he was limping. I gotta give Aaron at least the ability to carry a team. I'm not saying did he do it. I'm saying he can.
He can. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even in the way football is today with the points you have to score. I don't even really think Aaron Rodgers can, because he hasn't really. In the division that you play in, like you're playing Minnesota, you're playing Detroit, and then what's the other team? Bums. You know what I'm saying? Like Chicago, you're playing in Chicago when they were bums. You know what I'm saying?
So you're actually making a point that I was making, that it's actually
Minnesota didn't have a quarterback until forever.
People say, if you're gonna pay Dak $30 million, he need to be able to carry a team. No. Nobody really carries a team.
Hey, boss, think about this, boss. Can I ask you a question? Think about this, and I'm not trying to put any shade on Aaron Rodgers, but I just don't like him. He was beating a Minnesota team led by who? Christian Ponder? Like, come on, bro. Who? Then he was beating a Detroit team that, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Man, but he beat a hot Detroit team. Detroit was hot when he beat him. And then the way he beat him, like, I'm not going to, look, I don't even want to start.
And then you beat a Chicago Bears team. Come on, bro.
Look, I'm not going to defend Aaron.
Think about this. Ever since those teams have gotten better, where has Green Bay been?
And look, man, I'm not going to defend Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to do it. That's going to be bad juju on me. I'm not going to even defend Aaron Rodgers. But the point is,
I'm just saying, as his division got better,
asking for some of our players is just too much. Yeah. I'm not asking for Pollard and Weber to be Zeke, and nor should we. We should not ask that of them. We should not even consider that. The best thing for them would be for them to get their confidence up a little bit at a time. We did that with Gallup. We did that with Jarwin, because Jarwin was hot, mess, stanky the first 8 games.
Well, boss, think about what we did with Joseph Randle.
Baby was, he smelled, but we let them get their confidence up gradually. By week 17, oh yeah, Jarwin and Gallup had real pro swag. But the first 8 games, it was.
Yeah, and think about this. Look at Joseph Randle. Like you guys, like we've already done this running back by committee.
Yeah,
We went into 2015 and we actually had a running back get 1,080 yards, and guess what? We went 4-12.
Facts.
So it's just not about can you get a guy to just run the ball. Like there's more than just running the ball. And then also think about this: we won or lost 11 games last year by less than 5 points. 6 points. 11 games. 11. Either won or lost by 6 points. That lets me know that we are barely making it.
Right.
That's what that lets me know. And that lets me know that you probably don't want to take away from that team. You probably want to add. Like, to be honest with you, the Cowboys, we should have been adding players. But it just seems like we just been taking away. When you have a problem scoring points, you should just be drafting receivers, tight ends. I'm not even the tight ends, because we don't even use tight ends. But you should definitely be a gang of wide receivers. Like, I'm thinking we should have had wide receivers at camp. I'll play for a catch. Why? Because we had a problem scoring points.
Yep.
Can I ask you a question, boss, before we get out of here?
Of course.
When do we talk about that problem? Because it's sure like we sure are doing a lot to stop people from scoring on us. But when do we actually get to talk about the elephant in the room? Or are we just hoping? Because it feels like we're just setting ourselves up to believe that that Kellen Moore, the very coach that you guys laughed at when he got the job, is just going to save us. Because we haven't added anything to our offense. And we're actually contemplating taking something off in Ezekiel Elliott. And y'all wondering why I'm panicking.
That is the very big elephant in the room.
Were people happy when Kellen got the job? No, they weren't. But now he's the savior. And now we don't even need Zeke no more. I can dig it.
Yeah, it's something to fear, because see, Cooper solved a lot of problems. Dak passing rating went up close to 20. Zeke yards per carry went up by 1.5, which is amazing. That's a major addition just from having one player on the team. And then obviously Cooper, he did his thing as well. But Cooper did not solve the punch problem. He did not. Nope. If you can look at all of the numbers, we improved across the board, except in points. And that is a big elephant in the room. And that was something I was going to write about. I just never got around to it. But the weight that we putting on Kellen Moore, we putting exponential weight on Kellen Moore, because if we're going to still do things like never use Rico in the red zone, right? And we go out there with average size receivers, that quickness and that friendliness is perfect between the 20s. But when it's in that red zone, that space shrinks, and quickness is not your friend anymore. You need athletes. You need people that can out-jump you, out-athleticism you. You have to have it. That's why Dez was always a good asset. I don't care if his yards went down. Yeah. I cared about was he still good at jumping over balls for touchdowns.
And also, boss, think about this. Do other defensive coordinators view Dez the same way we do? No, they didn't, because he was still getting double coverage.
Yeah, he was still getting, especially in the red zone.
Yeah.
Especially in the red zone. Just go look at the Raiders game. Whenever we was in the red zone, look at how many people was covering Dez.
Yeah. All right, so let's go on to our before we get up out of here, there was something else I wanted to touch on too a little bit, because we talked about the Allen Hurns a little bit. We also talked about Ezekiel Elliott's contract. Before we do our last topic of the night, I want to talk to you guys real quick.
Season is only a few months from kicking off, but this year, let's do things a little different. Instead of just watching games at home or just going to a game, let's actually experience our Dallas Cowboys, just like West Coast does.
Cowboys Experience is my one-stop shop for all my Cowboys game day weekends. Their packages are all inclusive, including 2 nights hotel accommodation. We'll pick you up and drop you off at the airport and game. Want to hang out and get autographs from current and former Cowboy greats like Drew Pearson? If you're ready to experience the Dallas Cowboys like no other, make sure you inbox West Coast or go to cowboysexperience.com today.
The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season.
This is Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate
My
you.
man West Coast in this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast. Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? So we back up in this piece, man. Before we get up out of here, I wanted to get you guys. Before we get up out of here, I wanted to touch on about 5 minutes on Travis Frederick. It was announced today that Travis Frederick, my uncle always tells me, West Coast, I know you want 2 of them, but you can only have 1. But Travis Frederick is looking to be A-OK, and he's going to be a full go at training camp. I ain't trying to piss on nobody yogurt, so I'm going to let Boss Cowboy speak. That's all I'm going to say.
You gonna let
That's all I'm
me
going to say, because y'all already know how I am. I ain't going to piss on nobody yogurt, so whatever. Go ahead.
Well,
I see it when I believe it. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm gonna say this, man. You know, me and you have talked to many people that are medical people about this. We're not guessing on this. This is not something that, you know, we just want to be Debbie Downers. I'm just like you. I'm very wait and see on that because Frederick is one of those that's loved, and he earned it. He earned it with his play, right? But his condition is something that by most doctors and most of the people that I researched, it really takes about 2 years to where you get your strength back if you get it back. And a month ago, remember they were sending him to the doctor just to see if the damage was permanent, meaning they didn't even know a month ago was it permanent, and they never said anything after that.
Well, boss, they didn't even know he was sick until the 49ers game. Travis Frederick went, just to be exact, right? So nobody thinks that this is how it happens. Travis Frederick went all the way through camp, got killed the day before we went to San Francisco by Antoine Woods. I was there at practice. He got killed by him.
You was there?
I was there. I didn't record. That wasn't my video that was recorded because that was on the other side of the field, but I was there that day when he got killed.
Okay.
So he gets. I was there. I was actually there. I was actually there for both injuries last year. I was there for Travis Fredericks when he got killed, and I was there when Rico Gathers. Y'all know I love my boy, but Kayvon Frazier took his face off.
Yeah. Kayvon played mad. Kayvon plays mad. He's very mad.
Yeah, it was like the fourth day of Kayvon being back in practice too. And
I talked to Kayvon. He's very mad right now. He's gonna be trying to kill people. I'm telling you that right now. Go ahead.
And I mean, it was a clean hit too. Rico just came across the middle, not thinking nobody was gonna hit him, and he like you know how somebody's cleats are like this on the ground and they both go like this. It was one of those. Like hey, when you be like, hey, how you doing? Hey, like you know what that means. Like, bro,
I know exactly what that means.
When he hit him, they went like this.
We call that decleated Texas.
Decleater. He decleated him. Yeah, and like literally, like his jaw.
But go back to Fredericks, man. Go back.
Yeah, and so they didn't even know. Like the Cowboys didn't even know. And think about this: the Cowboys just thought that he was just feeling weak. Travis Fredericks went on his own. When they went to San Francisco, he left and got evaluated by the doctors at UC Berkeley, and they're the ones who diagnosed him with it. Like, that's the real reason of how. I'm not saying Jerry didn't care, but I'm just saying a lot of these you're going to start seeing in every sport. Professional athletes are going to get diagnosed by their doctor for the team, and they're going to say, okay, I'm going to go get my own doctor. Why? Because these teams kind of have just like the Golden State Warriors had a small motive on why they wanted Kevin Durant to come back in Game 6. There was a small reason because they didn't want to lose. That's why. They put that whole man's career in jeopardy because they didn't want to lose. So that's why Travis Frederick went to San Francisco and got an outside evaluation. And they were the ones that determined. And then think about this. The Cowboys still didn't put him on the IR until week 11. Week 10, Jerry Jones was still coming in there talking about something. Hey, man, you think you're going to be able to go? Hey, Kevin Durant, I know your leg is barely hanging on. Can you put tape on it? You don't think you put some tape on it? You don't think? Hey, and I'm going to tell you this. It was Travis Fredericks, because I asked Travis Fredericks when I was at Cowboys Experience. I asked him about it. And I'm going to be honest with you, who I honestly think was the pushing factor on him getting tested. I think it was his family. I think it was his wife, because I remember when I interviewed him, he was really adamant about his wife being so involved in the healing process and being understanding. I think it was his family that probably told him, I think you need to go get another diagnosis.
See, it's so much in what you said, West Coast, that I want to, man, you said a mouthful. See, think about everything that West Coast just said and then factor that into the optimism that they have now. Now, with this disease, most people take about 2 years to come back. They didn't put him on IR until week 11. Just let that sink in how, I would say, overly optimistic we was about him. I'm going to steal what Bob the Heck said. Bob, what the heck? I'm rolling at your comments, Bob. Bob, I'm rolling at your comments. You got to be rolling, bro. But Bob said this, and I agree with Bob. I'm going to say Bob's words.
You agree with Bob? Time out! Go ahead.
Bob said it best to me. Take it slow.
Thank you.
With our expectations and with him. Yeah. Is he worth the wait? Absolutely yes.
Yep, because you have him under contract for like 3 more years. Like, there's no reason to rush Frederick.
Rush him. Because a lot of people are just like, don't get your hopes up so much, because he still might not be himself.
Especially when you have a backup that can play. There's no reason to rush him when you have a back. Like if we had a backup running back like I don't know. Well, I can't even talk about running back because we'd have to have like a backup like Le'Veon Bell because we run the ball so much. But I'm just saying, like, if we had a formidable backup like Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown, I'm not saying I would never hope injury on nobody. But if something happened to Anthony Brown, I'm like, okay, J. Lou, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
We
I understand what we have behind them. I feel that way about, like, Joe Looney should allow you to ease him into it. Because you got Frederick for like 3 years.
And Joe Trina said his situation was different because they caught it early, so I think he'll be fine. They didn't catch it. He caught it. Which is going back to our point. They are so, and that was his point, and that's why it was so funny when he said the red leg was hanging off of him. When he said the red leg was hanging off of him, and they were still trying to put him on the court. That's a big point that West Coast is making, that sometimes because of the self-interest of the team, they'll rush people back. Yep. Now, the person that's being prudent about this is Will McClay. Because Will McClay really said the truth of why they drafted our pick at 90, McGovern.
Yep.
It was never about Leah Collins. It was always about the depth at center and guard.
Yep.
So with the fact that because when they drafted McGovern, West Coast and I was on the day of the draft scratching our head, and we said somebody on the bubble. We said that the moment they drafted him. We said
about this, Lyle and Joe Looney are both on 1-year deals.
Yeah, but we scratched our head. But but what we said, because I remember I watched the show again, the draft show. What we said was somebody in center or guard is on the bubble. And then they came out that day and they said Leah Collins, and we even started scratching our head, even like, what does McGovern have to do with Leo? And then they started talking about, Williams can play the tackle, and we was like, well, we better know now, because remember we started going through that debate.
And boss, and don't forget about the kid. Don't forget about the unanimous All Pro center that we picked up in the UDF out of what it was out of Clemson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
two-time All American. We
yeah,
signed
yeah.
him. We
That's the
signed him
right
with two.
tackle. Super slow, super slow. His chances of being good instantly are bad, but he can develop potentially.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the Dallas, the pedigree is there. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason
The
why the
pedigree
Dallas
is there.
Cowboys
The
went after
tape is
that.
there. Is his thing is 90. I think they did the numbers that 95% of the people with his foot speed fail. So to say he gonna be that 5% is a long reach, but he has the film to say that he could be that 5%. But going back to what I was saying on why we should all kind of slow down, like my boy Bob Hicks said, is because remember, and West Coast raised the best point. Look how anxious we are to always try to give him and push him on the field. So whenever we can get news to pressure him, like he's been cleared to practice in the OTAs. I mean, not OTAs, in training camp. We taking it like, oh, he's going to be back. Oh, he's going to be okay. Don't fool yourself because as the season goes on, the more you need strength, the more you need endurance, the more your health is important. So yes, he might come out the first 6 games and be okay. But how will he be in the fourth quarter when you need all of your body? When it's now above, you know what I mean? And will that disease take over then? He's somebody we need to watch closely and don't rush.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. So, yo, man, this has been a great show. We touched on Allen Hurns today. We went ahead and touched on Zeke Elliott's contract and the implications of that, and then we ended it with Travis Frederick. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. It's been a great show. We've been on here for exactly an hour and 15 minutes. I'm giving you guys that beautiful bean footage. I know everybody's gearing up, getting ready for training camp. I'll be at training camp on Saturday live in the building, so make sure you guys tune in. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you guys tune in. Man, just my thing is this, man. Just remember this. This is the only thing I'm asking you guys. If you've been rocking with West Coast and Boss Cowboys through this off season, continue to rock with us. I'm gonna tell you, like my boy Offset say, there's a new weirdo every day. That means there's gonna be new bloggers popping up they head every day. Why? Because it's funny how everybody wants to be a blogger as soon as the season starts. But remember, rock with those who've been rocking with you. You already know what it is. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.